Looks like Republicans are trying to get Donald Trump his third term after all. For a long time, Donald Trump has hinted at, teased at, joked about being in office for years and years to come, in direct violation of the document they claim to be sacred, that they pull out of their pockets in committees that looks all ragged. I look at this all the time. That's why it's so banged up. It's a problem. The 22nd Amendment of the Constitution of the United States restricts presidents to 2 terms, period, whether they be non-consecutive or not. 2 terms is all you get. And if you're a vice president and you take over at the beginning of someone's term and you serve most of the term, I don't remember the exact number, you don't get to run again. You've satisfied that. And Donald Trump has joked enough about it that there is now a member of Congress who has filed a constitutional amendment to allow Donald Trump to run and serve for a 3rd term. This is all just ass-lick territory for these brown-nosing sycophants, these boot-licking brown-nosers. That's what this is. He said it enough. We're going to do what we can to make it happen. Thankfully, the threshold for a constitutional amendment is pretty steep, but I want to play for you first just to refresh your memory about how many times Donald Trump has made jokes. He's not joking. He's signaling to Republicans this is what he wants. But this is a video from the Washington Post 5 years ago with a compilation of times he said it. And then he also made jokes about it on November 13th of last year, just after he won the election. First, though, the Washington Post as a reminder, as if you need that.
Under the normal rules, I'll be out in 2024, so we may have to go for an extra term.
Hey, we're going to have to extend my 2nd term because 2026, I'm going to have to extend it for a couple of years. I don't think any of you would have a problem with that.
I was going to joke, General, and say at least for 10 or 14 years, but we would cause bedlam if I said, we go to 20, we go to 24. Did you see it? Then it says 28, 32, 36, 40, 44. He's now president for life. And look, he was able to do that. I think it's great. Maybe we'll have to give that a shot someday. So we have 16, we have 20, we have 24. And you know what's very interesting, though? There are really people out there think I'm not leaving. Can you believe it? Hey, maybe that is a good idea. Let's think about it.
The crowd goes wild. They love it. They love the prospect of violating the Constitution for Donald Trump, the guy who promised he'd be dictator on day one. They've got their dictator now. Well, democratically, they got their dictator. You don't get one out democratically. But they're going to try to amend the Constitution that they hold so sacred for this. Here's reporting from, again, November 14th. He said it on November 13th on MSNBC with Ana Cabrera. Watch this.
New reporting now about President-elect Trump's meeting with House Republicans happening right now. He apparently told them, quote, I suspect I won't be running again unless you say he's so good we've got to figure something else out. Those comments ahead of his meeting with President Biden at the White House next hour.
And that was Andy Ogles' cue. I suspect I won't be running again unless you, apparently, Andy thought this was a direct message to him, unless you do something. Unless you say he's so good, we have to just figure it out. So here's Andy Ogles' webpage. Andy Ogles is proposing a constitutional amendment to allow President Trump to seek a 3rd term. And then I have in my hands the very said ass-kiss amendment of Andy Ogles, who has never met a butt cheek of Donald Trump that he didn't want his tongue and lips all over. Joint resolution resolved by the Senate and the House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, 2/3 of each house concurring therein, that the following article is proposed as an amendment to the Constitution of the United States, which shall be valid to all intents and purposes as part of the Constitution when ratified by the legislatures of 3/4 of the several states within 7 years after the date of its submission for ratification. That's boilerplate language for a constitutional amendment. And here is what the new article would be. No person shall be elected to the office of the president more than 3 times, currently it's 2 times, more than 3 times, nor be elected to any additional term after being elected to 2 consecutive terms, and no person who has held the office of president or acted as president for more than 2 years of a term to which some other person was elected shall be elected to the office of president more than twice. It's really just a copy, it's a cut and paste of numbers from the 22nd Amendment, which was passed after the 4 times that FDR was in the presidency. I mean, Andy Ogles is just a bizarre liar. He represents a congressional district in and around Nashville, Tennessee, I believe. He's a Tennessee congressman. And he's lied about his education. He's lied about being a law enforcement officer who ran stings against child trafficking. He's lied about being certifications and just qualifications. He's a weird liar. Just add him to the list of weird liars who represent Tennessee. Marsha Blackburn. Maybe something's in the water. I don't know. But this is just embarrassing. Any self-respecting grown man and independent human being would be embarrassed by this sycophancy, but not a Republican, not Andy Ogles. Maybe, just maybe, Andy over there is feeling a little left out in the cold. Nobody's paying attention to me. How can I get the dear leader's attention? I tell you what, I'll propose an amendment to the Constitution to allow him to stay in office. Look, I don't think Donald Trump's going to live to see the end of this term in office. I don't know why they'd want to amend the Constitution and allow a wildly popular figure like Barack Obama to run again. It doesn't make any sense for their 79-year-old gravy running, biscuits and gravy coursing through his veins. Big Mac sauce is what invigorates him. They're not thinking ahead. They don't need to think ahead because all of this is in service to the ego of Donald Trump and to ingratiate themselves to the cult leader. Fucking weird, right? Anyway, what do you think? I invite you to this conversation. You can comment below. That is a wonderful way because it helps the algorithm to share this content with new possible subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please do. We're marching our way toward 1 million subscribers. Bananas. That saying that is crazy. Anyway, 714-576-4054. Email daily@dollemore.com. And if you want to help support this work, click the join button below. Become a channel member for $1.99 a month, $2 a month. Patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. I love and appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Wow. Be genuine. Don't kiss ass. Take care of one another.